Get the fuck away from me. Get the fuck away from me. Get the fuck away from me. Get the fuck away from me.
My life is the crown, and yours is politics, and I will not trade one prison for another.
I'm sorry that I looked at Mrs. Riley and lightly grazed her left tit.
What the fuck?
Guys, like, I love books, but is it ever this serious? Like, what story, like, what do you have to say that is this much? How many, this is a Bible, literally.
Smut! Give me smut and nothing but a dirty novel I can't shut if it's uncut and unsubtle.
1,000 books is considered a library, so I thought I'd count every single book I own to see if I officially have a library. I sort of don't want to know, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Starting off with these two stacks on my desk, out of 25 books, 7 of them are unread. Just next to them we have these rather precarious looking stacks of books. There's really no sense of organisation here whatsoever, but out of 227 books, 172 of them are unread. Next we have this corner of books which is vaguely sorted into genres but still quite chaotic. Here in Bookish Corner there are 234 books and 162 of them are unread. Then we have this final stack of books as well as the only bookshelf I have in my room. It's looking slightly better in this corner because out of 263 total books, 85 of them are unread. We're not done yet though, because here, unceremoniously shoved in my wardrobe, are more stacks of books. Then over here we have Rainbow Row as well as some other series that I've had for quite a long time. So in my wardrobe I had 91 unread books out of a total 336 books. I have now officially counted up every single book I own. I have a physical TBR of 517 books, but in total I have 1,085 books, which officially qualifies as a library. I guess my next goal is to read every single book on my physical TBR.
Oh my god, hi!
Hi, everybody! Hi! How's it going? Oh my god, there's so many of you! Who you guys waiting for, huh? Oh, me? Wouldn't that be hilarious if I came down here and I was just like, oh my god, you guys are here for me, but you're not? Oh, that would be so good. No, we're here for Garth Brooks. I don't know why I meant you so much.
Your hair looks like...
Oh my god! Holy shit, there's a lot of you. Wow, my wrist is going to be falling off of that, isn't it? Holy shit. How's it going, everybody? We got a long run! See you in there, everybody! Have a good night!
I'm doing my walk around the library, pushing in chairs, and I come across this person who appears to be unhoused. I push in the chair next to them and say, hey, how's it going? They're immediately on the defensive. They start grabbing their bags, saying, I'm leaving, I'll go, okay? I say, it's okay, I'm just saying hi. Please stay. I want you to be here in the library. They look at me and they say, you're obnoxiously kind. So all I can say is everything okay? They say, my brain hurts, which is an incredibly interesting way to say that you're struggling with your mental health. They go on to tell me that their story, that a couple of days before this, they wanted to unalive themselves. They didn't think anybody cared. They came back to the library just for somewhere to sit. And they said that I always say hi to them, but that my library people also always say hi to them. They said that they no longer wanted to unalive themselves, which is so amazing. It is the power of the library, of connection, of interrupting someone's day with a simple greeting, with saying hi, They told me that they were once a library kid. They grew up in my library. They came every single week. That is a grown-up library kid who needs help, who needed someone to tell them that they belong. I'm happy that I could be that person that day. I'm so proud that my library people made them feel welcome, made them feel that they belong. That's all that we're trying to do in this world together, is exist, take care of your mental health, come to the library where you belong.
Pop quiz. Did you know that there is a connection between this idea that women should be subservient to men in society and male suicide rates being through the roof? Can you guess what the connection might be?
I'm actually going to answer this in a way that I've never done before, and that's by reading something from a book that I guarantee you like 99% of people watching this video haven't read, meaning it's not going to be bell hooks, unfortunately. It's actually this one, Men's Liberation, A New Definition of Masculinity, which was published in 1975, which explains why mine doesn't have a cover and why there's 10 left on Amazon. Also, I know the name Men's Liberation sounds kind of weird, but it was actually a social movement in the 60s and 70s that was very focused on how societal norms and gender roles for men were not only oppressive and hurtful for women, but they were the same for men as well, like a very bell hooks, patriarchy hurts us all type vibe. And actually in the very first chapter, he talks about why men have such a high self-unaliving rate, and he explains that's in big part because they can't live up to the societal expectations that have been given to them, but ironically, one of those societal expectations or roles has been the rational male that doesn't look inwards to question why he just accepts all these societal roles in the first place. Where he says ever so eloquently, and don't worry, my head will be your finger reader, masculine roles and praise for rational use of the intellect are based on values that are at the bottom of our culture's way of perceiving. When these roles are cumbersome, it is difficult for men to discern that they are so because rigid thought patterns cast shadows across their minds. The adjusted male does not appreciate his predicament. It is so ingrained in the way he uses his everyday mind that he takes it for granted. The tensions that account for the fact that men comprise by far the greater number of successful self-unalivings are simply seen as life's tough facts, which men in particular must be tough enough to quote-unquote handle or must succumb to in the process. Loss or defeat are equated with abject failure, a condition that robs a man of his status in his own eyes. At the time of the great 1929 crash, many Wall Street tycoons jumped from skyscrapers, equating their loss of status with utter subjugation. From the standpoint of an objective outsider, a self-unaliving committed because of some monetary overthrow has its origin in the unalive man's erroneous presumptions about his daily requirements. Such presumptions are difficult to change because they are derived from customary ways of thinking about thinking. Few men go so far as to question thought methods themselves. They inherit those bestowed upon them by their environment. To use the mind to turn inward on itself is a task for professionals. Sounds like a job for a shrink, said a clergyman to me when I suggested that he assist his congregation in this kind of inner exploration. As is true of most men, he was all too ready to classify what he must or must not do on the basis of prescribed functions alone, a sign of poverty of imagination. Now, if you've made it this far in the video, I genuinely want you to think about the irony behind this whole idea, where a lot of men believe in this archetype of the rational and logical male that is inherent to men by nature, and they only believe in that because society has told them so, like they didn't come to that conclusion on their own. And the irony there is that a man that fits that archetype of being intellectual and logical and rational would never believe in something like that simply because society told him so. Also, I'm too brain fried right now from med school to know if that's more ironic or paradoxical, so genuinely let me know.